So let's start the event so people can join and as the event goes on. So hi guys, thank you for joining. So this is Tezos and Unleashed. So we'll be teaching about introduction to blockchain. So we have a special guest, Mr. Takir Ahmed, who is developer relation engineer at Tezos India. So we'll get a short intro about what is Tezos and what is Tezos India. So yeah, the stage is yours.
Thank you. First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me over here, Sunil, Mrityunjan, and Vishnash. Glad to be here in a part of like Tezos community as well in the GDSC community. Since in my college, still I'm in my college, but yeah, being my third year, I had also been into these clubs and community and managing all of these stuff. So thank you also again. So yeah, hi, I'm Takir Ahmed. Call me as Takir.Taze, and I do work as a developer relation engineer at Tezos from India region, and my role and responsibility is to manage all the communities, all the clubs over the India region, and run out through the kids part of India. So here we go. So you all must have been getting into the blockchain system, and incorporating all of the stuff, right? You must be hearing about the Web 3.0, the certainty of changing from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. That has been fascinating. Like most of us had been knowing all of these stuff because there has been certain chances. So here we go. We have been learning blockchain. Okay, so blockchain has been one of the prominent thing, the decentralizing factor, where we have the data equipped, very safe, decentralized, and not even on the basis of moralization. Your data is not being sold. You might have seen that you are using some sort of system on a web browser, and related and you have searched some product on your web browser, right? And afterwards, what you have seen, hey, you it's like started scrolling your Instagram, your Facebook, any social media, and you might have seen that oh, how these stuff are have popped up on my screen, right? So there has been some tricky and the cookies part which have been incorporated in your browser. You accept it and it got injected. Even if you reject it, it's still injected in your browser and it's being displayed because it has been cached over server, which companies pay to the web browser companies, that they have to earn. So here got with the incompetence, like we have got the blockchain, the Web 3.0, the decentralization factor. Your data resides in your factor, in your hash table itself, and is not dispatched to other things. So data security and reliability is here. You must have seen that the unleashing, the credibility factor. The time you might have been using some media like Twitter, where you might have, or not saying you, but you might have seen people getting banned on those platforms if they have rebellions against that Twitter platform, for saying presently as X, or getting against the government. So just the things not being on Web 3, you are being improvised and being secured over there because it's being decentralized. Your data is resides on your, and you have a full vocal length of speech. That is the thing. The platform you have been connected is Vishnu, Sunil, can they interact with me on chats on using the mic?
Yeah, they can use chats.
Chats, okay. So I have a question for all of you. Like the platform you have been connected on right now, is Web 2 or Web 3? I can see the Vishnu is answering. Let the other students answer because you are the Vishnu. I guess you are the GDSC lead, so you might be learning the things.
Yes, sir.
Let students ask. Those students are your students, so let them remember the things. Hey guys, come on. Let's push it up. The time I was in the club, I used a lot about silly questions.
So I think they are like the first time they are hearing about the word blockchain, I guess.
Ah,
So,
blockchain.
yep.
Are literally you're from like you call it from compared to like Tamil Nadu, but in the south I like say like people are much into the blockchain and Web3 already.
Yeah, they know, but still they're shy about like.
Okay, okay, okay. We are there. Tezos India is there. So you might be learning about the Web3 on a whole basis, right? So don't be like panic or shy about that. If you allow me, I'll be sharing my screen as well. I need to clear some concepts, okay? I need to clear some concepts of them, right? Allow me to share the screen.
Okay, I will just
Is
stop my
there?
sharing so you can share. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, now you can share.
Now I can share, no? Mm, perfect. Is it visible, no?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Actually,
It's visible.
yeah. A student like Pavan like said like it's his first time hearing the word, so he
Hi
says.
Pawan, glad to be here. And Teros is there with Suleen and as well as Vishnuraj. So you will be equipped with everything over here. So I'll taking on you on a like website. It's not actually a website; it's a web page being crumbled like Underground. Thanks to Underground who has made this important like website to or web app to make people understand like the chain, the blocks. Okay. So considering that you have a block, right? You have a block, single block. I'm not talking about blockchain, only block, single block. So this system is named as block. It's written like block one. We do not start with like a zero over here in blockchain, right? Like Lemon doesn't start with zero. It's only in the hash system or in the core system, right? I'll tell you the nonce. Okay, I'll tell you the nonce. What is it? And in the block, you might be having some data. Obviously, we have incorporated blockchain in our life, so you might be carrying some data, no? Carrying some data. So here's that data, and is getting a hash. Like you cannot change it because, like decentralized, already told you cannot temper it. So that is why it cannot be changed. And this is having a code. It's fixed. Okay. Now, now that time changes. That time changes. I may try to temper it. Okay. You might have seen it was green. Okay. Now it has turned pink because it had got tempered and it is acknowledging us. Like, hey, hey, Toki, listen, it has been tempered. Check out. Nonce is not being changed. Their data is not being that data you have given to us. It was already empty and there's something data. Okay. I'll say, oh, I see, I see, I see. I'll say that I'll try to connect it like nonce. Now here comes the part of nonce. What does nonce does? Nonce says these are the numbers 72 around 608 numbers. You can count from 1 to 76 72,608 and say that there has been one hash in these number that is accurate that will give you a green symbol. Okay, right? Are you all clear with this fact till here? Just tell me about that. You can write in the chat like yeah, yeah, like yes. Got it? Cool. Now I'll try to figure it out like how do I correct it? Okay? How do I correct it? I'll type one. No, it's not corrected. Now Sunil will tell me like what's the second number do I type? I'll go according with the audience. I'll go according with the audience.
Yeah, just a random number like 68.
68. Which you haven't got for 69.
I would have, but
No, you are still wrong. You're still wrong. Hey, audience, like, hey, Fox, please, tell in the chats, like, what do number I said? It should be between 1 and 72,608. Tap it in between. Feel free to like answer. Like, I used to be shameless in that. No, no. Okay, I'll type 100.
Yeah, I think we have 72,600.
72,600. Okay.
Thank you, Pawan.
No. So, like, there are tons of number. No. that will up to take up time and take my whole day or even month. Okay, I'll use this button, mine. I'll tell you the reason why and what is that mining. You might have heard in your like ever of the lifetime, I'm mining, I'm mining, I'm mining. So this is the mine. That will take up time. That will take up time. And the answer is 29,667. You can keep this in your memory. Okay. What does this is? On this number, on this nonce code, this hash is to be changed. Now, here Tokir, we are confused, like pink to green, green to pink, and you are telling about the nonce. So how do we it is figuring out like what is green and what is not green. Now here comes the question. Now listen to me very very carefully. Hash, a complete transaction, a real transaction, a correct transaction, always and always starts with four zeros. Okay, four zeros. I'll type it in four zeros. Remember it. Gotcha? Gotcha? And I'll type it as Tezos. It got still tempered, and if you can see, hash has been changed with B8EC. That's not correct. We'll try to figure out again a number which is nonce. So what we do, will mine. Boom. Here we got the number, and on this number, here used to be a mine, a proper complete transaction. So here we have gotten the things already. Okay. So this has been a single block. If we talk about the chain, here complete we get the complete asset, right? Here we get the complete asset of blockchain that we have been learning throughout. Are we all clear till it? Because I'm going to explain a little bit of into the chain. That was a single block, right? Yes, in the chats. Vishnu, Sunil, am I going good now? For we have the time now, like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can write in the yes in the chats, people, except Sunil, Vishnu, and Mrityunjan.
Come on, guys, come on.
Okay, okay, still okay. Yes, sir. No, don't call me sir. I'm just talking. Okay. Sunil, you can share my profile with them. Okay, when you get the time. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Now understand this, somebody. Understand. Earlier in the previous slide, I was just educating you about this single block. Single block. Now it's complete of a chain, a package of chain. Now it's called blockchain. Okay, blockchain. Block 1, block 2, block 3. Now, if you have remember, block 1 might be having 0, 0, 0, 0 because previous and no one, no nonce over there. Now, if you have been observing this number, if I zoom in a little bit, this number, does this number is being reflected the same as here? Right? Yes or no? Right? Yeah, correct. Now keep the thing, keep the things here. And does this number signify? Wait. Now, does this number signify this one? Previous? Aren't they interconnected? Obviously, yes, because they are chain. If they are not the chain, then how would have been connected? If they are connected, that is why they are called so chain. Okay. Previously, if I try to mine Tezos, see, everything on the chain has been tempered. Now we have to find a number. Okay. I'll try to figure out with the one mine. See, If they had been got tempered again and again, that had been reclusive, and the single block had dispersed the single one. So never ever try to. There's a catch. There's a catch. Never ever try to temper the first one. If I try to mine this one, this will be changed. Okay, previous in is not being changed. Let us suppose if I have experimented in this block, let us say in the fourth. So from 1, 2, 3 would have been not changed. It would have been green till this time. It would have been changed. It would have been single, right? That is the fact. That is the things of blockchain. Okay, that is the thing of blockchain. Now here comes the fact of Tezos. There you have must have heard out different blockchain. So, have you ever heard of our different blockchain? Can you please write in the chat? Have you ever heard about name of any blockchain? You can just Google it out at least. I will develop over there. Tezos that I will be taking the name of Tezos first. So, anyone? Ah, very good, very good. The hardest ecosystem. The smoothest one goes for Tezos itself again. ETH. Actually, ETH Santosh Kumar says for Ethereum. Okay, remember that. Every time you have to say the Ethereum. So here comes the Tezos ecosystem. Mm, if you ever want to understand any blockchain, go to white paper. Okay. So what we are learning, Tezos, a self-amending crypto ledger blockchain. Ledger, I'll tell you what is that ledger. White paper. White paper contains all the information of a blockchain, simply like the system. If you are into the Web 2, you might have heard about the documentation of any product. How does the thing work? The manual. The blockchain has white paper. Okay, all clear, all set. What does self-amending says? Being self-healed, being on an acknowledgeable node. Okay, it's not being dispatched. It's being self-honored because it has a vulnerability of proof of stake. I believe there has been a topic which your team will be teaching about the proof of stake, right, Sunil?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that is I'm not diving much into that because I'm just like addressing everything. But yeah, you have to understand those concepts because proof of stakes comes in for the Tezos. The proof of work goes for the Ethereum part. Okay, the proof of work. You have to understand. Like I'm not saying to read everything. Read everything. You can use AI and get into that. Like what does it says and interpret the things. Interpret the things. Now, the time for coding part. You might be an engineer. Might be from the computer science background. So you have must be amazed about like how do we get the things. So before we get into that, I have a small question for you. The web browser I am being using currently is based on Web 2 or Web 3. You can write in the chat. Um, okay, let me tell you. So here comes the concept. We have a smart pi editor. Yeah, Nitesh, the answer is correct. The Web 3. I'm not like saying I'll be coding right now because it takes a bunch of time. I'm just saying Smart Pi is one of those languages being on web for Tezos, which will be used to deploy the smart contract. The smart contract will become a topic where your team will be teaching you about like why smart contract and what was the traditional smart, like the contract and why we have gotten shifted to the smart contract and what's the advantage of getting into the smart contract for Tezos. Okay, Tezos. So that has been all those things. And if you want me to continue, I can be into that. And that's all from my end. And just having a glimpse of that, on Tezos, we have certain amount of things. You might be using some sort of wallet across the thing. The Temple wallet, right? The MetaMask, right? So on Tezos, for particularly for Tezos ecosystem, we have what? Temple wallet. Temple wallet. So I'll be giving a link over here in the chat. You may install it whenever you get the time. And you might be thinking, hey Tokil, why not a Temple wallet? Why not the Coinbase? Let me tell you why. If you get into the white paper, na, you have this self-amending concept. Self-amending is based on the independence. Tezos is an independent blockchain. It is not being dependent on. If you take ever the name of any of the blockchain, they are quite possible that they are dependent on Ethereum. But we are not. We are not. So we are getting into that. That's one of the coolest concept. So this all we can get into that. And if you want to connect with me on Twitter, you can connect me. Uh, Sunil, can you share my Twitter profile over this if you have time? Wish to anyone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please. Thank you very much. And anyone, if you have any kind of doubt, you can just ask me out. Remember, it's everything decentralized. Your data is not stored anywhere. Okay, so let us take the example of this thing itself. Your brave proud. If I have said that it's a Web3 thing, so where's that? Here it comes that sync. Okay, start using sync. Okay, if you ever copy this block this thing now, if I type in this chain code, which I'll be deleting my mm, you know my profile after post this meeting, you cannot get access into that. You'll be getting into this profile and we're getting access to this. I have just shared my whole code, which is not a good practice, but yeah, I have shared you. Let me tell you why. The time I copy this thing now and save it to my drive and sync this thing over my mobile phone, which is on my mobile phone, that same thing will be synced over my mobile phone without any login ID password. Why? Because it's decentralized. Let us suppose taking a consideration that I lost my mobile phone and the laptop. Hope so I doesn't, but I lost the things. So I'll be completing getting lost of the thing. So always and always take a backup of your sync code. The time you are starting with the Temple wallet, take a backup of your sync code, please. Thank you, Sunil, for letting me address all of it, and thank you so much for sharing my profile. I'll be stop sharing my screen, and if you have any sort of kind of doubt, you can just ask me out. Uh, and we at Telos India very happy for taking over these classes and make the things improve for you all. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining, Takir. So, thanking for taking the time to join the meet. And yeah,
Absolutely. Actually, thanking you, particularly for to Sunil, Vishnuraj, and Mrityunjay for hosting this session. We at Tezos India really believe on you, like how you people doing really great. You people create the impact. So thank you. Just do let me know if you have any sort of concern and any of the way I can contribute to your ecosystem or
yeah,
any of the help
guys,
I can
you
give to you.
if you have any queries, you can ask
Please.
in chat.
Yeah, please. We can just hold for 1 minute or 2 minute extra. And we very much open to the DM. So you can just ping me out on my DM. I'm preferred to the Twitter part. Obviously, it's like centralized for this one, but yeah.
So hi Takir, like we have started
Yeah.
like the GDSC like from months now. So still like people are like
Ah, great.
finding their own basic foundation to rely on. So actually it's like a good session because they don't know about they know about blockchain, but they don't know how to be in the developer community like Tezos, because there are a lot of opportunities in that, and students are trying their best. And I hope that around like the next meet, or like if the next session, if you're available, if you schedule it, a lot of people will be joining in the session, and there will be like a lot of community developers in Tezos.
Yeah, yeah. At that moment, no, I'll be taking you the on the screen. I'll be sketching the things on Escalibro through
Mm-hmm.
my like hands, through my
Okay.
mouse and hands, and I'll taking the figure out like taking the real time example, like how Sunil did the transaction, how Vishnu did the transaction, and how the things are overlapped, and how did we got the blockchain. There we'll be discussing like the very core.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, on that motion, like you will get to like real fun you will be getting on.
Okay.
So yeah, previously for my thing, I had been into the like GDSC. I told earlier, like the GDSC and Tezos Club,
Yep.
and through the Tezos, I got chance to work as a devil for the Tezos India itself.
Mm-hmm. So can you
So
share about your journey, like from your GDSC, how did you become the Tezos
like
developer?
yeah, yeah. See,
Yes.
thank you for letting me have this thing. We started with the like program named Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program. Okay, in the month of January
Mm-hmm.
2021, and I was not used to be like into the developer communities, and I was quite a student, a child, like doing the steps and learning Python and just remembering the code, just mugging up the code. Like why I did it so? I'm just why I'm like puzzled on the day of today.
Mm-hmm.
So like the time I got to interact with the on a global communities, they got to like, hey, like these students are doing such a great thing. Like how confident they are, how like relented they are, how they are doing the things, and then like yeah, like how they are hosting the events. So there got a notch, like I should be doing the things, and I participated into the programs, and I have hosted several events. They got to like into the GDSC as well, and they tried like how can I contribute for my students in my college, Jamia Hamdard, and they got to know about the blockchain as well, because we bring out the club itself. They got to learn about the DevOps itself. They got to learn about the Meta Spark Air itself. Now they are doing really great into that. That was the sparking thing, and we got into the blockchain with my friend.
Wow,
So
that is really
that
inspiring.
that
Yep.
so
Yep.
that is the thing. You should be connecting with people, and try to use those resources, not just to collect it. Use those resources, because time is very less and time is money.
Yep. Yep. Indeed, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I believe you should be continuing your with your program, because it's
Yep.
your program itself.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
thank you all for joining. Yeah, and I'll take an exit trail from here, right?
Yep.
Allow me to have an exit trail.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Takir.
Yeah,
Like you have
kudos,
spent like
kudos,
almost.
kudos.
Yep. It's your
Like
valuable time.
like
You
it's a motive,
spent
na?
here.
Like connect, learn, and grow like this.
Yeah, we have.
I
Yes.
remember, I remember. But we have Tethos, we have like simply collecting all the students and making them to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good
Sunil
to
will
be.
be getting in touch with all of these stuff, whatever he had taken the screenshot and the program files. Okay. Sure. Happy learning.
Yep. Thank you
Hi.
so much, Takir. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, guys. Next, Mrityunjayan will be presenting about the cryptography and how it works in blockchain. Yeah, Mrityunjayan, you can present.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, Martin. Yeah.
Yes.
A minute.
By the way, guys, we'll be having a lot more sessions on Tezos developing community. So it is like they have been building this developer community around like almost 3 or 5 years. So it's really a good thing to get involved in the blockchain community, and it is really gaining momentum right now, because as the AI is dominating the coding industry, a lot of people are shifting from their uh, ideology and the learnings to blockchain, because it is really a massive technology. So I hope like you would get benefit from the this meeting, and we will be having a lot more sessions in the future. And please consider this as an opportunity to learn and grow inside the developing community. So yeah, please, Mrityu, please proceed.
Yeah, let me start with the word cryptography. When cryptography comes to mind, what do you remember and what you heard of? Anybody in the chats?
Guys, please post in the chat, and I'll try to read it out so that Mrityu can see what kind of chats you've posted. Okay, please try to be interactive as much as possible.
Yeah, it is a basic concept actually. If you learned about cybersecurity and stuff, cryptography might have been common part. And it is nothing but hashing. Have you heard of this WhatsApp end-to-end encryption? Everybody uses WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, I think Nitish
So
question like he asked like encryption and decryption as you
yeah,
asked.
yeah, it is sort of encryption and decryption. We'll go into that. Before that, to give a basic idea about cryptography, we all use WhatsApps, right? So there is an end-to-end encryption algorithm working on. It is based on cryptography, so you can relate to it, right? So I'll go with a basic concept and a definition of cryptography. Yeah. Today's agenda is to cover the topics which I meant to be covering is what is cryptography and two main types of cryptography which we use in blockchains. So there are many cryptographic algorithms which are available. Mainly we'll focus on two another algorithm is it is hash function. I will elaborately focus on it. There are two main cryptographic functions which we'll be covering and how cryptography is used to secure information in blockchain. How blockchain is secure will touch that part, and what is the advantages of cryptography in blockchain. We'll cover that. And as I said, cryptographic hash function, it is a main type of cryptographic function which is used in blockchain. I will also cover that. And further going, Sunil and Vishnu will cover blockchains and stuff. So be intact. Okay. What is cryptography? This might be a question, and we'll go straight into the answer. Cryptography, it is a technique or a protocol which is like providing a secure shell from a third party. What is third party? An intruder, like what we say, a hacker. So it is to protect from them, from the unauthorized person to access the information and to encrypt. Yeah, the word you said, right? Encrypt and decrypt. Why we do so, right? To protect our data and to enable the protection. It is safe enough to share through web. Okay. Web, it is like a platform we use to share, right? So that is that. And here is a Greek meaning to the word cryptos. Actually, cryptos means hidden, and graphing it is to write. Actually, in encryption, we do encrypt the data to certain form of text, ciphertext, we say, and we'll also decrypt using a key. We'll discuss further on the topics. Okay. Next. Next, there are two main types of cryptography. As I said, we'll go into that. Yeah, there are basic two categories which is divided into symmetric key cryptography and asymmetric key cryptography. Yeah, symmetric and asymmetric Anybody, anything sparks upon? You would have learned in math, right? Asymmetric, symmetric, anything?
Like I hope like students are from second year or first year, so maybe they would get in their syllabus like in the cybersecurity field. So don't worry, guys. We'll learn about it.
Yeah,
Nikhil,
we'll
continue.
we'll teach you. We'll teach you. Don't worry. I will teach you one by one, and we'll go into symmetric key cryptography. Yeah, symmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption. It is using a same key to encrypt a data, that is your plain text, into a ciphertext, and using the same key to decrypt the information into a plain text. As Takir showed you, right? Like there would be a hashes in the while we enter a data part, the plain data is converted into hash. What it is called encryption and decryption. Also, he showed you in the previous part of this meeting. So I think you'd have got an idea what is it. If you don't, it is like just encrypting your calls. Actually, it is like a background work which we usually use in day-to-day life. As I said, we use WhatsApp, where there is an end-to-end encryption, where our calls and chats are end-to-end encrypted by the way no one could interrupt, right? No one could hear what we say, and no one can share our information in the web. So it is like that, okay? Symmetric key encryption, it is using a same key, we encrypt the message and decrypt the message. It is called symmetric key encryption. And here it is the definition. You can see like the common algorithms are used in this symmetric key encryption are advanced encryption standards and data encryption standards. You could hear this if you have read about cybersecurity. It is a common term where we use AES and DES. It is a common encryption algorithm. Don't worry, it is like it is a symmetric key encryption where we use a single key to encrypt and decrypt the data. Okay, and that is what explained in the first paragraph. And the second paragraph, it tells you about why we want to encrypt the data. And I've already explained that like it for the security reasons, we encrypt the data using a same key to avoid a third party to receive the information. The specified sender will encrypt the data using a single key and decrypt the information by the receiver using the same similar key. It is called symmetric key encryption algorithm. So next we'll go into the features of symmetric key encryption. It is described as a secret key cryptography, and both parties, that is sender and the receiver, will keep the key as a secret because it is the same key. Okay, it is suitable for bulk encryption. If you have a large volume of data and you have to send the information through without involving a third party, so you'll use this key. It is easier and it is less power consuming and it is faster to transfer. Next, we'll go into asymmetric key encryption. Asymmetric key, it is like having two keys. One, it is private key and a public key. It is like, let's take an example of Bob and Alice. This is a common example which we use in cybersecurity, which is like encrypting a data and decrypting a data using asymmetric key encryption method. Like we use a uh, mm, two keys in this asymmetric key encryption, that is public key and private key. To send an information to a receiver, we'd use a public key to of public key of the receiver to encrypt the data, and the receiver might use the private key of him to decrypt the data, and it is vice versa. If you can understand it, I will post the chat, post in the chat what it is. Actually, it will be bit light of confusing. Okay, don't worry, I will explain to you in a moment. Asymmetric key encryption, and what it is, right? It is a two different key we use to encrypt the data, like public key and private key. Public key can be freely shared with online members of ours, but private key must be confidential. Okay, this method is particularly useful for securing communications like emails, browsing the web, and you could have heard of HTTPS before every URL, right? You're searching the web and you could see the HTTPS colon slash Tezos.com, right? It is all encrypted in the same way as asymmetric key encryption. Okay. We'll go into the features of asymmetric key encryption. And it is described as public key cryptography. It is often used for symmetric cryptographic security sharing, and it requires a long processing time to execute. As we said, in symmetric key, right, it is easier to transfer a large set of data, but it requires long time to process because there are two keys to involve and there are more process involved in it. And it is secure more it is most secure than than symmetric key encryption, and it plays a significant role in the authenticity of web servers. How cryptography is used to secure information in blockchain. Security in blockchain, which is what we can say, it is a confidential part where the blocks are secured using this cryptographic techniques. As we said, asymmetric key and symmetric key. Here, blockchain uses both. In the means like asymmetric key is mostly used to encrypt the data, and as I said before, there is a unique algorithm used in blockchains like hashing and hashing. It is most commonly used algorithm in blockchain. We'll come to that in later part. Okay, here some of them were explained as cryptography is used to encrypt a transaction on the blockchain network. When it comes to blockchain, it is mainly of transactions. So we need to encrypt those data and protect it from unauthorized access. And we use public key encryption, that is asymmetric key encryption, especially to accomplish this task. Okay. Cryptography uses hashing algorithms to create a unique identifier for each block of data. It is like creating a hash. If you could remember in the meeting, he explained how to create a hash, like entering in the data field where he typed text, but it turned into a hash. If you could remember that, it is like hashing algorithm. So there are many hashing algorithms. We'll discuss about it. And later, okay. Digital signatures, which are used nowadays to protect our signatures. You could have heard digital signatures in Aadhaar and PAN verifications, where you could say see the digital tick signature tick mark, right? It is encrypted. The signatures are encrypted to ensure that it is our property and our own property. So it is like a verification, authentication mechanism that it is provided by the officials that is authorized. So that it provides in a blockchain. And let's go into the advantages of cryptography in blockchain. Advantages are such as I have divided into 5 different pointers. As it is encryption, it is a main advantage which keeps us ensures the secure transaction. Immutability, that is blockchain, it is It cannot be changed once the data is entered into the blockchain. And security, it provides the encryption security, like I said earlier, like hashing. So it is secure enough to protect from unauthorized users. And there is scalability. It ensures the record keeps growing on. You can enter as many data to the chain, and you can connect many data as possible. So scalability is not an issue here. And non-repudiation, that is, you can't undeny the transaction that is made on the blockchain, because it is protected and it is digitally signatured to ensure that these data are provided by the authorized person. So next we'll get into cryptographic hash function. As I said earlier, blockchain uses cryptographic hash function as their main algorithm for cryptography. Hash function, it is like a major function in a blockchain technology. It helps to ensure immutability in blockchain, that it cannot be changed once the blockchain is entered with the data. And when transaction is verified, a hashing algorithm adds a hash to the block, and a unique hash is created. This creates a chain blocks where any changes to the block would be noticeable. So it is like providing a hash to every data we create upon the blockchain. And hash functions are used to link blocks together and maintain the integrity of the data in the blockchain. Uh, this part will be explained by Sunil, and you could hear more about it. I will give a gist about what is a hash function. Hash function, as I said, it is like creating plain text into a hashes. And there are algorithms such as MD5 and SHA-256 to encrypt the message you was sending into a hash and to decrypt it. So we'll go on to next. And you can see this picture which explains how the hashing works. Like if you type the word hello world, it hashes the encryption. You could see those number and new kind of hash created under this, like 1821. It is a hash. So if you create a this hello world, it is turned into a SHA-256 algorithm, as you see the under 1BC 1824. You could verify it using SHA-256 and decryptor. And I'll go on to next. Here, the properties of cryptographic hash. For particular message, a hash function does not change. That is, if you type a hello world, the hash function will be the same if you type the same hello world. If you add a space or any changes to the hello world word, the hash might change. So every hash is a unique function, so you can't tamper with it. Any minor change, the next line says that any minor changes in the data will result in major change in the hash value, as I said before. And the input value is not predicted from the output hash function. If you only have the hash, you cannot revert it back into a message without the key or the plain text. Um, they are fast and efficient because they rely heavily on bitwise operations. You know bitwise operations, right? It is like ones, zeros, how the computer speaks inside. You could learn it. Okay, if you know the basics of any programming language, there will be a bitwise operations going on. So it is like basics to any programming language.
Yeah, it is so simple, guys, because operators like bitwise operators, like for example, it is like same as logic gates in which we use in physics. Because as many of you are like passed from 12th, so we would be like learning about logic gates, and gate, or gate, or not gate. So the entire thing would be like inside the computers, because it has transistors and many things. So the same thing goes on, and there are a lot of operations involved. So that is what bitwise operator means. So would refresh it.
Okay. If you have any queries or any questions related to this topic, which I thought, you could ask me now. If you have any queries, you can raise up in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask whatever it is, I will solve. There is another part which will be explained by Sunil and Vishnu. So keep on asking questions, guys, to be interactive more. So it will cheer us more, and you could learn something.
I think they don't have any questions in like cryptography and encryption, decryption.
If
So
you
hope you
can't
guys know
understand,
about all these
also,
things.
yeah, if you can't understand, also you can ask what the part you might be rethought, and தமிழ்ல தான் பேசணும்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா தமிழ்லயும் பேசுறதுக்கு ரெடி.
Okay, we'll also have a separate Q&A session after the meet before 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Then let me stop sharing the screen. Sunil, go ahead with your screen.
Yeah, okay.
And one more thing, guys. Sunil is the community lead of Tezos Blockchain Club in our college. So he's like he's in need of many volunteers, and as well as the next year, if students are interested in blockchain, having a blockchain club in our college or in your own college, you can ask him. You can personally message him, and you can ask him to apply. How to apply for the Tezos Blockchain Club, and you have like much more benefit from creating a new clubs in our college. This will be like handled like from the next year. There will be a lot of clubs involved, and hope you guys would be like learning as much as possible by using these clubs. And there are a lot of placement opportunities as well, because Tezos developer community is like massive, and they are hiring students for for developing side, and they are also teaching about blockchain and many things. So hope you guys like utilize this opportunity and gain as much as learnings as possible. So yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Sunil.
Okay. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Sunil, please go ahead.
Yeah. It was a great session with you. So let me present about introduction to blockchain. So we'll be having what is a blockchain, and what is a block, and how the blockchain works, and some terminology of the blockchain you should know. So this is just an introduction session of blockchain, so you guys can get to know how what is blockchain, and maybe explain to others, if someone asks what is a blockchain, you are a graduate, you have to explain what it is. Okay, let's start what it is. Okay. So this is a simple terminology. So what is a blockchain? So blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that records transaction across a network of computers. There is just a definition. So let's decode like what are the each and every terms that are discussed here. So a ledger, for those who don't know, so a ledger is a record keeping book used to track transaction or data. Okay. So in a simple layman explanation, a ledger could be like attendance book kept by your class tutor. So comparing blockchain to it, traditional ledgers are centralized and controlled by a single entity, like your class tutor. So in the sense, a decentralized ledger or a ledger that uses a blockchain would be a attendance book that is shared among students, as and each student can get a copy of that, and they can verify their attendance independently. Okay, it's just a gist of how a blockchain can be implemented in that. Okay, so by using that, it could be secure and transparent, and everyone can see like what are the data that have been made and who has made it. So blockchain is currently used by banks and governments, etc. So there are many examples for it. So through this explanation, I guess these are the main terms for what is a blockchain is. We can get a gist of it. So it is a digital ledger and it is decentralized, which means there is no central authority maintaining a record, or there is no central authority for regulating it. And it is spread across different computers. So let's get into the in-depth of what is a block first. So a block essentially is just a collection of data. Okay. So typically a collection of data is transaction records. For instance, it could be a record of someone paying another person. It could be like X space Y 20 rupees. And each block contains data, unique hash of it, and a reference of the previous block. So I hope Mrityunjayan has taught hashing in cryptography. So basically, a block contains a data, hash, and the hash of the previous block. So hash is like a fingerprint. So it will be unique. So any changes made in the data will be resulting in a different hash. So and each block has a previous hash of the previous block. So if someone wants to edit data of the previous block, they have to first get the hash of the previous block, then recalculate the hash of the current block. So let's see an example here. So the first block is called a genesis block in blockchain. The first block is the genesis block, right? So the transaction we get, like the transaction data, like X space Y 20 rupees, the timestamp, and the list of transaction. They take like a list of transaction, then hash the whole transaction. Then they collect, for example, if there are 20 transactions, they hash and put it in a block, then hash the every transaction as a single block. We get an hash. The first block has the 0 hash. The second block has a different hash. So the second block has the first block's whole hash. That's the point. So for example, if someone tries to hack it, or someone tries to edit transaction, right? So for example, if X pays Y 20 rupees, I want to add 5 rupees and say edit like X pays Y 25 rupees. So what would happen in that cases? So once hash is calculated, there will be a different of hash because the previous hash will be changed. So we can easily validate it as the hash value is changed. So with enough knowledge, you could have thought like, is blockchain just a linked list? While it's kind of similar, but it's not the same. Okay, so both use the chain structure, while where blocks are connected and linked with the links. So you might thought it's just a fancy word for linked list, but actually no. So by design, data is in a blockchain is very different to alter. Okay, any change would require modifying all subsequent blocks and gaining control over a majority of the network. So there is no concept in linked list like that, and also it is almost impossible to gain the control of the majority of the network. Okay, then in blockchain it is distributed across network of computers. with no single point of control. So there is no central authority that has the access to edit or modify things. It is distributed across network of computers. And blockchain has more complex systems, which involves cryptography, hashing, and consensus mechanism. So Vishnu would be teaching consensus mechanism next. So with the knowledge of definition, like how blockchain actually works, right? So when a new transaction is made, it is sent to the peer-to-peer network. So what is this peer network, right? So it is just a bunch of computers connected in the same network. What they do is everyone in the network has a copy of the current blockchain. So when a new transaction is made, so each and every computer calculates an equation that is validated by each and every computer. So once this calculation is made, majority of the computers getting the answer will be taken and clustered into the block. So in depth is what happening is proof of stake and proof of work is what is happening, which will be explained by Vishnu. So after the blocks are added in the blockchain, it is made permanent as a history and it is added to the previous block in the blockchain. So this is the in-depth roadmap of it. So let's get into like simple terminologies in blockchain. So decentralization. So a blockchain is decentralization, which means it is not controlled by a single person. It is maintained by a network of computers around the world. So in the sense, there is no single authority. For example, a government controlling all of these things are centralized. In blockchain, it is controlled by network of people. And the second thing be anyone can participate in the blockchain by running a mining computer. So there is a thing called mining, which will be explained next. Okay. So everyone has a copy of the blockchain. So it is difficult to tamper with. For example, if someone wants to tamper with the data, it will be easily uh, noted by the others. Okay. And also changing that would require a lot of compute power as well. So what is mining? So you might have heard of Bitcoin mining or Ethereum mining. You might have heard of this mining. So what is mining? So mining is the process of adding a new block. While adding a new block to the blockchain, you have to compete with the network of computers to solve a mathematical puzzle. This is just boiled down to like a simple term, but the actual puzzle, for example, in Bitcoin, you would have to find the random number that adds to the result hash of a certain number of zeros. Okay. So while hashing, so you might have saw MD5 and SHA-256 algorithm. So while giving an input, the output will be an hash. Okay. So this certain number of zeros is the complexity of the hash. Okay. So in Bitcoin, there could be the task could be find the 16 number zeros of the hash. So the first person or first miner to solve this puzzle will be rewarded with cryptocurrency. So this is how Bitcoin blockchain uses mining, but other blockchain also has the option to pool mining, which means you can the network of computers can provide like just the compute powers and everyone collaborating will be given incentives. So this mining process is what driving the blockchain community right now because everyone wants to earn. And there's a thing called hashing function. You might think like what is this complexity and what is this hash, and everything in blockchain revolves around this hashing function. This is the actual thing that revolves in each blocks, right? So it is just a mathematical function which turns a data into a fixed size alphanumeric code. Okay, so Bitcoin uses SHA-256 right now, and even a single change to the input results in complete different hash. So it takes time to compute the hash. The more complex the data is, the longer the compute is. Okay. Then smart contracts. A smart contract is just a self-executing program stored in a blockchain that automatically carries out a term of agreement when a certain condition is met. For example, you want to integrate blockchain into your mini project or your project, you would be interacting with smart contracts because, for example, you want to do a transaction and you want to implement a blockchain. You would first create a smart contract in either any blockchain or like Ethereum or Tezos. You would create a smart contract, and each time you want to do a transaction, you would call this smart contract. So there are a bunch of libraries available. So one of the one is Solidity language for Ethereum, and there is Lego for Tezos. If you are into Python programming, there is an awesome library called SmartPy. Okay, so you can explore into it. So these are just terminologies of it, and thank you guys. So this is just a gist of what is a blockchain. If you guys are interested, we can have an in-depth hands-on on how we can implement blockchain in your projects as well. Yeah, if you guys have any queries, you can ask.
As we all know that like blockchain is a big technology and there are a lot of learnings involved, so there is no need to be like worried about it. There are a lot of developing there are a lot of resources available on the internet, and there are a lot of communities which are constantly managing students, like they are engaging students to learn about the technology, and there are a lot of hopes involved. And like learning about a new emerging technology is quite essential for us, because as a like as we are from the technical background, we have to like learn about every technology which is like on the like it is emerging. So like if you have any doubts, you can ask questions now, or we'll have a dedicated time at the end of the session. So do you guys have any doubts?
Yeah, if you guys have any doubts, you can ask now, or you can ask doubts after Vishnu's session. So we'll just wait a minute. So for anyone to ask any questions, then move on.
Okay, Sonal, can we go ahead with the session?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So, hi guys. Hope my screen is visible. Okay. So this session would be like based on the consensus mechanism, and like for understanding the blockchain, you have to learn about cryptography. And the cryptography session was like handled by Mithyan, and like it was so like it is essential in the thing of like blockchain. So and Sunil explained about blockchain and Tezos, and it's really wonderful. And we'll go ahead with the consensus mechanism. So consensus mechanism, before getting into that, we'll be like having this some sort of meme. Okay, so as Sunil said, blockchain comprises of many blocks, right? And the Bitcoin, the first ever created coin in the blockchain industry, it has like a major drawback, which is like if there is any updation involved in the coin, it has to be forked by all the computers around the network. Okay, as he said, like there is a chain of computers involved, right? Network of computers. So every computer has to update based on the new updates which have been provided from the network, and they have to keep on updating their own systems. Okay, so that is called the forks. So in Tezos blockchain, it is like there is no forks involved. that will be covered last part of the session. Okay, so this is just a thing which to inspire you and to spark you about learning about Tezos. Okay, so what is our today's agenda is like we'll learn about what is consensus mechanism and like what really is a proof of work and proof of stake, and we'll be having a brief about what is liquid proof of stake. Okay, yep. So consensus mechanism. So consensus algorithm is a procedure like through which all the peers of the blockchain network reach a common agreement about the present state of the distributed ledger. So as like a previous session handled by Takir, like he said like blockchain is a decentralized distributed ledger. So and Stunil also said like it is a distributed ledger. So as you know about ledger, so it is also a distributed thing, and it is like the every transaction is uh, like stored in every blocks. So each and every block has the has contained like every other transaction involved. Okay, so consensus mechanism is a self-governing mechanism. So this would be like spread across the network, and there are a lot of things which is involved, and we'll lay it out in layman terms, and we'll try to learn it. Okay, so if you take an example about a database, okay, so a centralized application. Okay, so there would be like one server or one system involved in updating, maintaining, deleting, and adding data into the database. Okay, so what if it gets biased or it gets manipulated? So that is like a really a bad thing for a organization. Okay, so that is why blockchain have been like involved, and there are a lot of distributed ledgers involved. Okay, so consensus is nothing but it is a thing which it is an agreement so that lot of members can be agreed upon. Okay, so if you say like there are a lot of transaction involved, so as we all know that transaction in the blockchain is transparent. So if any transaction occurs in the blockchain, it will be like transparent to all the members in the chain. Okay, so it is publicly available, and there will be no fraud, because if there is a transparency in the network, there will be like if something really happens, they would be like it is easier to tackle the problems. So there is no fraud involved, so there are a lot of logs involved in it, and if anything happens, the fraud can be easily identified. Okay, so next thing is proof of work. So proof of work, proof of stake, and everything is like it's a consensus mechanism. So consensus, it is like an agreement which all of the network, like all of the blockchain members can agreed upon. Okay, so what is proof of stake really means is that it is a technique used by cryptocurrencies, okay, to verify the accuracy of the new transaction that are added on a blockchain. So if a new transaction is added on a blockchain, or if a new block is added in the blockchain, it has to go through the proof of work thing. So in a cryptocurrency, proof of work solves the double spending. For example, um, if Alice and Bob are spending across themselves, like if Bob gives $10 to Alice, and also Bob gives $10 to Charlie. Okay, so but he has a balance of $10. So if that happens, it would be like he spends the amount double, like he tries to spend it twice. So that won't be happening, because if you spend once, it would be like reduced. So it tries to solve the double spending problem. So proof of work is it is a like an transaction. It is a verification of a transaction. Okay. So how it works is that a block. So as Sunil said, a block is a list of transactions. Okay. So when a new block is added, they are tied up to the previous block or previous hash of the blocks. Okay, to form a chain. So as he said, like there is a lot of mining involved. So Bitcoin can also be mined and validated. So when you mine a Bitcoin or when you mine a blockchain, you have to do something so that you try to showcase your work. So the work involves like the computation. So you try to get a computer which has like a lot of GPUs and CPUs involved in it, and you try to compute like a severe mathematical problem, or like it is like a complex mathematical problem, and you try to guess the solution for it. So that is what called as mining. Okay, so the proof of stake, like the proof of work, and the proof is like you spend a long time finding the password for a block, so you have to get the block. So mining is like similar to the mining which we involve in coal mine or diamond mines. So it is same as that, but you try to guess the password. So the passwords can only be guessed, it cannot be predicted, because the passwords involved in the blockchain is entirely random. So the randomness involved in this is very high. So you have to guess for it. So after you try to validate the transaction, you receive a small amount of Bitcoin as an appreciation, as a reward for your work involved. Okay. So the records of everyone on the network are updated. So whenever you receive small amount of Bitcoin, or whenever you create a new block, the entire chain will be updated. So that is called, like we saw about the first slide, which is like hard fork. Okay. So this is how the proof of work gets involved. Okay. So the features of proof of work is like, it is secure. So how it is secure? It's like the entire thing is transparent, so it is reliable, it is safe, it is permanent, and also it is fair. Because for example, if you are going in a 200-meter run, okay, whenever like there are a lot of peoples involved, okay, start from children to old age people. So if they are running, there will be like it has to be fair, right? So much better athlete would be like coming in the finish line first. So it has to be like a fair thing. So okay, if the competition is perfect and the list new block is added in the blockchain, it would be like your competition would be like it would be like transparent to others, and you try to like say that I have tried my best to solve the problem involved in the blockchain, and I have gained the new block, and I have gained the little amount of blockchain. So that is what mining involves. And next thing is consensus. So as we know that consensus is a an agreement which we can connect to. So miners need to broadcast their details when they add a new block in the network. So whenever they try to create a new block, introduce a new block into the network, they have to broadcast it. Broadcast in the sense, they have to say that I did the proof, I did the work, so here is the proof, you have to show it. So that is called consensus. So the nodes check whether the asset has not been double spent. So double spent is something which is like really a really bad thing in the blockchain. So that a lot of like consensus mechanism involved in it tries to solve the double spent problems. Next, consensus means everyone has the same record. So every time the node, like the block gets updated, every network is like it has the same record. So if you have to compete with thousands of others to earn rewards in the blockchain, it will be like so big competition. So there are a lot of like work involved in it, and the like every miners can get the rewards as a small amount of Bitcoin in their proof of work as. Okay. So proof of work is something which is so secure, and it is also has a consensus which tries to update every time it gets added, the new block is added. So next thing is, what is the problem on proof of work is that the impact on environment. So it consumes like lot of energy. So there is carbon emission involved, and it is really enable. It doesn't allow us to scale up. So if there are hundreds of blocks, we can try to create new blocks, but it only stays within the a limited blocks, which would be like if there is a 5,000 block, you can only scale up to 5,000 blocks. And if you try to go ahead with the cryptographic like cryptocurrencies, if there is like 1,000 or 10,000 coins involved, you can only mine only 10,000 coins. So there is no ability to scale up. Okay. So there are no penalties. For example, as Sunil said, like if someone gets hold of 51% of the blockchain, they can easily unleash an attack on the entire blockchain. So if an intruder or if a fake user tries to enter into the chain, there is no penalty involved in the proof of work consensus mechanism. If we come to the proof of stake, so stake is something like for example, stake is some amount of it is some amount of like some amount of money which they used to be in the part of the chain. So for example, if you try to buy something, you try to like provide a form of payment to the to the landowners or to the shop owners or something. Okay. So stake is something which it is a some amount of money which they used to be in part of the chain. So if something happens, they can easily get the money involved, and so that no one can do any bad things involved. Okay. So the benefit of proof of stake. so before getting into the benefits, we'll see about the what really is proof of stake. So proof of stake is a cryptocurrency consensus mechanism for processing transactions and creating new blocks in the blockchain. So it is similar to the proof of work, but here it is really an easy way to create new blocks. Okay, so for proof of work, you have to show the computation. So what kind of things you did to gain the Bitcoin amount. Okay, so the mining involves is really tedious, but in proof of stake it is really simple because you have to give out your money to buy the coins, and you get to create a consensus mechanism for it. Okay, so inside there is a validated thing. So the benefit would be like they have a slashing mechanism. So if something really bad happens, for example, if an intruder comes inside the blockchain and he tries to like create a new block which is really entirely different from other blocks, and he tries to give his stake of money, and he tries his level best, but he fails. So if he fails, the coins which he used as a stake will be like he'll be losing it. So it will be like a reliable node. Okay, so proof of stake is similar to proof of work, but it's really an easier way to go ahead with the mining algorithms. Okay, so for example, like in proof of stake, the thing would be like if you take this same example as I said before, like if you take an athletic race, like 200-meter run, it would be like you have to pick someone to start run. Okay, you have to ask them to start run so that they get to finish in the competition. So the same thing would be like they can get picked. Okay, so how they get picked is that they have total coins staked. So how many coins they have staked in their profile, and how long they have been staking. So staking is something which they are like investing on the cryptocurrency. Okay, so since there are a lot of coins involved, there are a lot of amounts in money involved, and there are a lot of like reliability involved, so it is really trust and reliable. So, and there is also a thing called randomness in the proof of stake. So proof of stake has randomness so that it can give a fair shot for all. Like there is no bias thing. So you can get your turns in the blockchain whenever other people like get the chance. So it would be like much more effective with the help of randomness involved. So for example, like if you see the diagram, it would be like so easy. So if we try to separate like proof of work and proof of stake, it is simple. Like you have start and finish line. Okay, so in proof of work, you have to mine something, like mine a new blockchain, so that the blocks can solve a particular computation, and it would be like so difficult, so that there are a lot of GPUs involved, and there are the price of the implementation and price of the computation is really high. So it is really difficult, and it also takes as much as like possibly like 13 hours or so. Okay, so in proof of stake, it is really easy to mine the block. Okay, so it is like you have to put your stake. So சொல்லுவாங்க like நம்மளோட things வந்து நம்ம கொடுத்து we are trying to solve the block. Okay, so it is really easy, and just 10 minutes will be involved to mine the bitcoins from the proof of stake. So proof of stake வந்துட்டு you have like amount. So ஒரு amount நீங்க invest பண்ணிட்டு you have to gain it, but in proof of work you have to invest in the computation. So it is really simple. So if someone tries to cheat it, okay, so if they try to create new coins in the blockchain, so what would happen? So if there are any fake transaction involved, there is a checking mechanism which is called fact check. So if it tries to like if it finds out that the consensus would be like really bad, and that the transaction is really fake, all the stakes which the user proceeded would be like lost. Okay, so if a lot of people report it, the validators will lose the money. So this is the best thing which is involved in the proof of stake consensus mechanism. Okay, so in economic, if you see about the economics, a miner, which is like ourselves, so if we use a hardware for computation, like to mine the Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency which is involved, we say that it is a proof of work concept. So proof of work is like you provide a certain computation, and you get in turn like some amount of the cryptocurrency involved. So, but in proof of stake, it is really easier because you have to invest it. So you have to invest and buy the coins, and you try to create new blocks after this thing. So proof of stake also, like if you're investing in it, if you're investing in the coins, the price of the coin gets increased, so that the demand for the coins get reduced, and there are a lot of like there is a balanced situation involved. Okay. So if like Ethereum involves in proof of work concept, but still a lot of people are trying to proceed with the proof of stake because it is a lot cheaper, and there are it is done in a less time. And so but in Tezos we have like liquid proof of stake or delegated proof of stake. Okay. So what is liquid proof of stake? It is like for example, you are organizing or you are creating a startup. You're creating many startups, so you don't have time to watch each and every startups in person. So you hire someone else to do the task. So it is the same thing which is involved in the liquid proof of stake, so or delegated proof of stake. So the delegation, so unlike in proof of work systems, liquid proof of stake allows token holders to delegate their stakes to validators. So they are providing their stake, that is they are providing their investments to other validators, so that the process is becoming more democratic. So a lot of people can get involved in it, and still the token holders will get benefit from it. Okay. So liquid proof of work would be like efficiency. Liquid proof of stake would be like efficient because it reduces the energy consumption. Because in traditional mining proof of work systems, you try to solve a higher computation problem, which would be like takes hours and hours of computation involved. So there are a lot of energy involved. So there is like more carbon emission is involved. So it tries to reduce the energy consumption. So it is efficient. And the security would be like it has enhanced security and reduce risk of centralization. So in proof of work, only the organization, that is the Bitcoin that founders can start giving out the coins to the general public. So but in liquid proof of stake, there is no risk of centralization. Okay. So as you can see, like comparative analysis for with like liquid proof of stake and proof of stake as well as proof of work. So energy efficient is like so high in liquid proof of stake, and there is no centralization risk or minimum to like the minimum amount of centralization risk is involved, and the participation is really highly flexible in liquid proof of stake. Okay. So as you can see, like if there are three people involved, so Ross, Joe, and Rachel, so they are known as token holders. Okay, they have certain amount of coins in their wallet, and they try to give out to the validators. So validators are someone who are ready to do the computation in the blockchain. Okay, so they are inside the blockchain, and there is a function which randomly picks a validator. So then like Joey gets selected, so to add a block in the blockchain. So from the three of them, the liquid proof of stake tries to pick one because it is a random. There is randomness involved, and they try to create a new block in the network. So it is really simple that the Joe gets to add his new block and receives a network fee as a reward. So he tries to get a reward system, and if he loses, he would lose his stake and try again. Okay, so this is called like proof of stake. This is simple proof of stake, and Tezos uses like liquid proof of stake, which is entirely easier and much like it is really energy efficient, and also there is no centralization risk involved, and the participation is flexible in the liquid proof of stake concept. Okay, so these are the consensus mechanism, and the session is almost like it is done. So if you have any questions regarding consensus mechanism, or if you have any questions in the previous sessions, you can give us, like if you have any questions, you can ask us, or you can text it in the chat box. Okay. Hope this session was really useful for you guys.
Yeah, Vishnu, it was a great session. And there is also one thing I want to add is Tezos is a self-amending blockchain, which means any vulnerabilities or any disadvantages you have, it can be fixed in the next update of the blockchain. It is a different approach on others take. It is like liquid proof of stake as well. So guys, you have any questions? You can ask it in the chat. You can ask on any session in Vishnu's or Mrityan's or mine.
There is a question. Vishnu, could you answer that? It is directly related to proof of stake.
Yeah, there is a question called how token holders get benefited by staking it to validators. Vishnu, can you answer it?
Sure. So you know the token holders are like someone who gets the blockchain or gets the cryptocurrency from the network, right? So if I am a token like I am a token holder, so I have 10 blockchains, sorry, 10 bitcoins. If I want to have Sunil as my validator, for example, I want Sunil to be instead of me. Okay, so I have other works, so I want my chain to be completely taken over by Sunil, but I will be the token holder. So it's a hierarchy. Okay, so I give Sunil like a blockchain, 5 bitcoins, and Sunil will do the entire process in the blockchain. Okay, so he would try to do some validation. He does some proof of stake concepts, or he tries to add new nodes to the network, and he does it, and he will get benefit from it. So, but like if he gets like a point zero, okay, 0.1 Bitcoin, I would get like zero point 0.3 Bitcoins. So I am dedicating myself. I am giving out my tokens to the validator, which is Sunil. So he does the work and I get benefit from it. Okay. So it's like really simple. It's like providing an extra key to the validators. So that you don't have to do all the works by yourself. Your validators, that is, there are a lot of opportunities involved, so that you have a lot of bitcoins, or you have a lot of cryptocurrency, and you try to delegate it to the validators. So validators are someone who is ready to do the computation or do the staking thing in an easier way. So you will be getting benefited from it as well as them. So if I have 10 bitcoins and Sunil doesn't have any bitcoins, but I give him my coins so that he'll become the validators. So it's like you don't have to invest anything, but you can get something. So it is really a good concept in the liquid proof of stake. So hope I have tried to give you an outlook about liquid proof of stake. Santosh, any other questions, guys?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can leave it in the chat. We'll try our best to answer the questions. You can ask any questions related to Web3, blockchain, or how we can integrate it with your existing projects. Anything. Come on, guys.
Okay, guys. I think there is no doubts involved in the Tezos Unleashed session. So we really appreciate your time for to learn about blockchain. So it is really a good start, and you have being here on a Sunday evening is like big thing, because you have a lot of other works, you have a lot of other easiest more more works to do it, but you still spend your valuable time in learning about new technologies, and blockchain is one of them. And it's really wonderful that you spend your valuable time here. and we really appreciate your participation, and we hope that we were like such an amazing host with you guys. And okay, Sunil, can you tell them about the certification involved?
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining the session. So we'll be sending out certificates to everyone who are joined here. Yeah, it will be sent in almost 2 days. Okay.
And we really want students to post it on like social media or in LinkedIn, so that the clubs get like an awareness about it, and we'll be hosting a lot of sessions in the near future. So please stay tuned in the group, or like check your emails once in every 3 days. So it was really a wonderful session, and it was really wonderful to have you guys here. And we really hope that we'll have us as same and amazing participants in the next forthcoming sessions. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So thank you, Mrityunjay, and thank you, Sunil. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you guys have any doubts on how you can integrate blockchain, you guys can DM us. We are currently in the WhatsApp group. Yeah.
And
Great,
if your
thank you
friend,
so much.
okay, so if your friends want to like learn about technology, like new emerging technologies, ask them to join in the WhatsApp group, because we'll be posting the events and the sessions involved in it, and the entire session will be like so useful for you guys, and it would be like so it will be free for you. So please utilize this opportunity, and there are a lot of certificates involved as well. You can have it as your like activities which is involved in your academics. So hope we guys like had given a good session on Tezos blockchain. So we really want to connect with you guys in near future, and we hope that we'll have as many participants as we had today in the forthcoming session. So thank you so much, guys. You can leave the session. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you.